Hi there, this is Vanessa Meenhorn with a tutorial on how to create masks with your dies. This is the first of two cards I'm showing you today. Here I used my favorite technique, ink blending, but on the second card I will use a watery technique because it's possible to do this with the dies. I'm using this large word die from Winnie & Walter and want to die cut it from painter's tape to create a mask. And the secret to be able to do this is baking parchment. So I will simply adhere a strip of the painter's tape to the parchment, and this way I will be able to create a backing for a sticker. Here you can see I can remove it easily, peel it off after I adhered it to the parchment. So I'm just placing my die and run it through my die cutting machine. And here is the word still inside the steel die, and to remove it I like to use this pointed tool, the sharp tool from my quick stick from We Are Memory Keepers. And it makes it easy for me to remove this word from the steel die. Now you can see on the back it's the baking parchment, and on the front is the painter's tape. And now I can simply peel off the backing or the baking parchment like I would be able to do from a sticker. And I have a perfect word mask to use on my project. Now I'm adhering this to a panel of watercolor paper. I love to use watercolor paper for ink blending because I think that the ink just blends better on this paper. You can see I can still remove the word if it's not straight or if there are crinkles or something. Is it called crinkles? Well, you know what I mean, I hope so. I'm pressing it down firmly so I'll have a crisp result afterwards. Now I tape my panel to a piece of checked paper, and I simply mask stripes using a sticky note. And using a mini ink blending tool and distress inks, I will create rainbow stripes. I start with mustard seed and I'm applying my ink, trying to move up and down. So I'm trying to not apply my ink in circular motions because the sticky note is not as sticky as masking tape or painter's tape would be, so I have to be careful to not move it. Now I'm finished with the first color and I remove this sticky note and will now mask my first stripe, the inked one, and using a second sticky note I just mask the rest of the panel. So now I'm applying this spiced marmalade color and repeating this procedure. I apply all the colors I want to create the rainbow palette. This is the last one, it's Dusty Concord, and now I can remove all my sticky notes and can see the result. Now comes the fun part. After I remove the tapes from the bottom of and the top of my panel, I now can remove the word mask. If it does not come off easily, just use your heat gun to heat this painter's tape and it will come off easily. And here you have your result. Crisp edges, beautifully inked word. Now I stamped and heat embossed this birthday onto a strip of black cardstock, and I just notch one edge with this square punch. This way you can easily create perfectly notched edges. And I will adhere it underneath the happy. This birthday is from another Winnie and Walter stamp set that's called The Big, the Bold, and the Happy. Now I will adhere this panel to a black card base, and to finish the card off I'm using various sequins in colors matching the stripes, and will adhere them to the card using this multi-matte medium. It's a perfect medium to apply sequins because it will dry almost invisibly. So if some of the glue comes out from underneath the sequin, you will not see it. Here's the result, my finished happy rainbow card. Now the second one uses this watercolor technique. You can do this easily with this painter's tape masks. I used another large word die from Winnie and Walter and also some cute hearts from Lawn Fawn, and already applied my self-created mask stickers to this watercolor panel. And now I will apply distress inks to this acrylic block. It's picked raspberry and festive berries and worn lipstick. And using a watercolor, no, not a watercolor, water tank brush, I start applying water to my panel to make it easy for the ink I want to apply to move around. And I'm applying some drops of this water to my distress inks. And using a simple paint brush, I apply this distress ink to my panel randomly. You can do whatever you want. You can do circles, you can do splotches, just do what you like. You can't go wrong. It will look beautiful in the end, even if it looks messy first. Because I don't want it to be as bright and bold, I'm using a paper towel to tap off some of the ink. It makes it softer and it will dry faster, so I don't have to wait as long. Now I'm adding some drops of ink and splatters, so I simply tap my brush. And because they were too dark again, and especially the red splatters looked like blood, I removed some of the ink again, tapping them off with my paper towel. Now I want some really thin spritzes, so I'm using an old ink toothbrush, and with my thumb I'm applying the ink. I'm spritzing the ink from this toothbrush. This would have been the perfect time to put on some gloves, because afterwards your hands are really, really inky. Now some final ink splatters until I'm satisfied, and I think I'm finished. So afterwards I just let it dry and removed my masks again. And now I'm mounting this to a pink card base. Here I have trimmed a strip from gold foiled cardstock, and I want to adhere it to the right edge. And finally, I'm adhering some gold foiled hearts and sequins to finish my card off. So there you have it, an easy masking techniques using all of your beloved dies without bleeding. I hope you really enjoyed this. I did. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Bye!